Hi everyone, and welcome to another weekly reading live channel update. Basically, this is a weekly series of me talking about anything in my life that I think is worth sharing. If you're not new to the channel, you know that I had these weekly update videos before the reading slump hit me every Sunday. And after I came back to BookTube, I first wanted to get steady on my feet, wanted to make sure that I can maintain this weekly update schedule. And yes, I'm very happy to say that now I'm confident enough, and I do think that it will be able for me to film every Sunday for this weekly update. And if not, if something of course happens in the meantime, if I'm busy on Sundays, I will let all of you know in advance. But I'm really pleased that this is a series that will come back to my channel, because this was my favorite thing to do, to be honest. Just a very chill way to connect with all of you and to share my week and my life with all of you, but also in the comments to see how your week has been and what you're looking forward to for next week. And it was just so fun to see new names in the comments, but if these names pop up every week, you start to get more familiar and you start to recognize certain people. And that's just the fun thing about BookTube for me. So let's just dive into it. What have I been reading? So physically, I'm now reading The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart. This is an Arthurian legend retelling, and this is also the book that won my little challenge of a couple of weeks ago, I think, where I read the first chapter of a book. And if I liked it, I read the first chapter of 8 books in total. And the one that I liked most, that was the one that was going to win, and that was the book that I was going to start. So this is it. I have very high expectations, of course. This has 5-star potential for me, and I am now 200-ish pages in. Now, that's all I'm going to share, because I'm actually filming at the same time a spoiler-free reading vlog for this one, and that will go up hopefully next week. But yes, so far I am not disappointed. And then I'm also listening to an audiobook, of course. For that, I have Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb on the list. This is the first book in the Fits in a Fool trilogy, which is the last trilogy in the realm of the Elderlings. I'm not that far in, because audiobooks I listen to when I drive from and to work, but so far really enjoying this one as well. Now, I don't think that I will be able to finish this one next week, because it's a short week, hooray. On Friday, we have the day off, it's a national holiday, and on Wednesdays, I work from home, so that means that I will only have to drive from and to work 3 days next week, which is roughly 6 to 8 hours of listening to an audiobook. This is a huge audiobook, it's 30-ish hours, so I think that I will be almost done, because I listen to it on 2 times speed, but I will not be finished. So this one will be my audiobook for next week. However, I do think that I will fly through this one, because I'm loving it so much. So that means that I need to pick another physical read. And for that, I'm going back and forth between 2 books. The first one is Sibyl's Secret by Juliette Merlier. Juliette Merlier is one of my favorite authors, but the last book that I've read by her was Wildwood Dancing, which is the first book in this duology, and that was back in spring. So it's definitely been a while, so maybe I should just finish the duology with Sibyl's Secret. I know that I'm going to love it. It is a YA, and it reads rather fast. This is also just barely 400 pages, so I do think that this will be a fast read, so maybe I should pick it up for that. But then I also have Cunning Women by Elizabeth Lee. This is actually a present that I got last Christmas from a friend of mine, and I think that I will absolutely love this, but I barely hear anyone talk about it, which can either mean that it's a hidden gem or that it's not that good. I don't really know what it will be, but I'm very intrigued by it, because this is either historical fiction or maybe a little bit of fantasy. It takes place in Lancashire in the 17th century, when the witch hunts were taking place. So that's why I'm not really sure what it will be, because we are following, I think, one of the women who will be accused of witchcraft. So these two, either of the two, please let me know which one you think I will like more and which one I should start. But both of these are quite quick reads, I think. I think that this one is also not even 400 pages. So maybe I can start one, finish one, and then pick up the other one. But yes, those are my reading plans for next week. In terms of the channel and what happened last week, I uploaded 2 videos. Really happy with that. I hope that I can maintain that schedule. On Wednesdays, I uploaded on last Wednesday, not every Wednesday, I uploaded my October wrap-up and then a little bit of a November TBR. And then yesterday, on Saturday, I had my spoiler-free review for Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, of course. After watching House of the Dragon, and then I watched the first episode and I decided to quickly read/listen, because I listened to the audiobook, Fire and Blood, because I always like listening or reading the book before watching the adaptation, and especially in this case, I do think that that was the way to go. So very happy that I'm now back into the world of Westeros, and I honestly cannot wait to reread A Song of Ice and Fire. And that nicely brings me into the collaborations of last week, because yesterday on Joanna's channel we had a very nice chat to announce our A Song of Ice and Fire read-along that will start in January of next year. So of course I will link that video down below if you want to know more, but basically we will be reading the 5 books that are currently out in the A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R. R. Martin, and then afterwards we will probably also read through Fire and Blood and the 3 novellas of Duncan and Egg. I cannot wait. This is together with the 2 Joannas and then Alex and Scott. It was so nice to meeting all of them because, of course, we have been talking on Discord and stuff like that. But besides Joanna, I hadn't really seen them in person or in a live discussion. And it was just such a nice vibe, such a nice group. And I cannot wait to discuss all of these books with them. Then on Friday, I also had the Friday conversation together with Steve on Steve's channel. This was together with Matt and Alan. And again, that was also such a nice conversation. All of these collaborations and discussions really make me remember why I love BookTube so much. It's why I love reading as well, and just to experience that with other book lovers is amazing. So, of course, that discussion will also be linked in the description box down below. Then on my own channel last Sunday, we did have, and this is a little bit too far for me to reach, but we did have a spoiler-filled discussion for A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. This was together with Steve. Then we also had Raf and, of course, Jose. I really enjoyed this book, to be honest, and I think that of the panel, if you can say so, I was the one who enjoyed this one most. But that also means that, of course, we will continue to The Trouble with Peace, which is the 2nd book in the Age of Madness trilogy, and we are still working out dates, but this will probably be somewhere in the beginning of December that we will discuss that book. So if you want to catch up, definitely do so. You can read A Little Hatred and then The Trouble with Peace in 1 month, I think, because these are quite quick reads. But yes, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. For next week, I have 2 videos planned. One is already filmed, so that is going to happen for sure. And that is the Why I DNF'd Stormlight Archive video, which will go up on Wednesday. I'm a little bit nervous for this video, I must admit, because English is not my native language. Sometimes it's difficult to have nuance, and things that I do not want to express as strongly as I do. And also, this is of course a video of why I did not like a book series, and I don't try to be very nuanced there either, because I want to explain to all of you why I did not like it. I'm not going to give you a very objective review of this. These are the things that I liked, these are the things that I did not like. These are actually my gripes with the show or with the series. And even though I know that all of you, the usual watchers of my YouTube channel, know who I am, and all of you are extremely understanding about this, and you know that if I dislike a series, that does not mean that I cannot understand that you like that series. But, and this is something that I've seen with my Wheel of Time video, where I talk about why I DNF'd Wheel of Time, these types of videos sometimes also attract the major fan base. They don't know me personally, and sometimes they can get quite hostile if you attack their favorite series. So I'm a little bit nervous, also a little bit just intrigued to see what is going to happen there, but that one is going to go up on Wednesdays. And then hopefully by Saturday I will have my spoiler-free vlog up with the mention of course, the Crystal Cave. And well, I do expect to finish it next week, so normally that means that the vlog will also be done. And there you will maybe see me with walks of the dogs, a little bit more live stuff as well, because of course this is a BookTube channel and I also want it to remain about books, because that's what 90% of my free time is about. But as you guys know, I also love board games, stuff like that. So incorporating that in vlogs, I think, is a very natural way to bring you guys into my life as well. And in terms of board games, I got a new board game, and that is Pandemic Legacy. And this is definitely one that we will be playing on the vlog, my husband and I. This is the first Legacy game that we have. This is a cooperative board game, which means that you, as the players, are working together against the game. And with Pandemic, of course, there are 4 pandemics, and you need to find a cure for these 4. And if you do that together with the other players, then you win the game. Now, the Legacy aspect here is very nice because, like I said, I've never played a Legacy board game, but that means that each session that you play will have an effect on the next session. And here we will have 12 sessions. So if you would win against a board game each time, then the entire game in itself is 12 sessions. If you lose, it can go a little bit longer because you need to win each session before you can progress to the next one. But for instance, this is a board game with a world map. And if maybe London is fallen, because London, there is too much disease there, then you need to put a sticker on London. And then for the next game, London is no longer there. So it really has long-lasting effects. So that's a little bit scary, but I am very excited to dive in together with my husband. Now, something else for next week, of course, I will also be on Steve's channel for the Friday conversation, and I'm very much looking forward to that as well. I think that is basically everything that I have to share within a minute. And by the way, if you hear rain, that's because it's raining right now, and I do hope that you don't hear that too hard. But I was going to go for a walk with the dogs, but since it's raining, we're not going to do that. Afterwards, I am going to go to a housewarming of a friend of mine, and that's actually the one who gifted me Cunning Women, so maybe I should start that one. Maybe that's fitting now that they're finally into their new place, and they're actually living quite closely to me, so that's fun as well. Please let me know in the comments down below how your week has been and what you're looking forward to for next week. And as always, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Bye!